Hey, loser. I just wanted to let you know that I just heard from the bank and it sounds like I'm going to get that job after all. I bet that you have got to be so jealous of me right now. Are you? I bet that you are. You don't even have to tell me that you are. I mean, you barely even passed high school. So what are you doing with your life that you have to be proud of anyways?
So you are going to go and work for the bank after all? I guess it's a good thing that you enjoy doing exactly whatever mom and dad tell you to do.
I'm not only applying there because they wanted me to work there, I'm applying there because that's where I want to work too. What do you even know about having a real career, huh? You only have a high school diploma and could never in a million years do the kinds of things that I've done, or will do.
Wow, you are really hung up on my high school diploma, huh? You must think about that more than even I do.
Well, of course I do. You're like a marker on the wall that I can always back on to see how much I've grown. I mean, you're consistent in the way that you never even try to accomplish anything with your life.
Why are you being like this to me, Rachel? I mean, we're sisters, and I don't like being treated this way by you. Do you really think this is a good way to talk to others? Don't you know that one day all of this looking down on other people is going to bite you in the butt?
Look down on others? Don't worry, I don't do it to everyone. Only the people that really deserve it. Like you. Aw, see, you are special in your own way after all. And I'm not the only one that looks down on you like this. Mom and Dad feel the exact same way. So who am I to go against what they've decided about you?
I don't even know why I bothered responding to your text. I knew that you were going to act like this towards me. Well, I am through with this. I don't see any point in keeping up with this conversation.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, I guess I'll just throw away all of your belongings then.
What on earth are you talking about this time, Rachel?
Well, I just mean that you're the only one in the family who was never ever going to work in a bank. All you do is mope around the house all day doing nothing.
Okay, I think we both know that is not true. I do very little moping, thank you very much. I have a job that I enjoy, I work hard, and I contribute a lot to our expenses. In fact, I'm even paying for part of your tuition with the money I give to Mom and Dad.
I know all about how you pay that. After all, we're all elite bankers. So why wouldn't you pay for someone as great as me to go to college when the same thing would just be wasted on you? And that point of mine is just proved by the fact that I got this job at the bank. So there. In fact, now that I have this job, it really does just make me realize how useless you are. That's why I'm going to make you move out of the house. You're just not needed around here anymore at all. Of course, I've wanted to do this for a long, long time. But it wasn't until now that I was sure it could work.
Are you serious? You're really going to try and throw me out of the house?
Well, I'm already dumping out all of your stuff. If you want to make sure it's not all gone, you had better come back home and get it all right now.
Well, this all escalated really quickly. But, Rachel, I'm just curious if you know just how much money I've put into the house. I mean, even more than our older brother. Out of all the siblings, I've contributed the most to making sure that Mom and Dad still have a roof over their heads. In fact, I don't know if our brother has even spent a cent of his own money to do anything for Mom or Dad or any of us.
And so what? Do you want a medal or something? You've been living with Mom and Dad, so of course you're going to put money into the house. But think of it this way. You won't have to do that anymore. It's perfect, really. I'm going to cut you off from our family and you won't have to think about us again.
You really mean it? You just want me to up and disappear just like that?
Of course. Now that I have this job, Mom and Dad won't be needing your money anymore. So you can just take your things, leave, and then never ever come back. I don't even want to have to think about you ever again. I want it to be like you just dropped off the map entirely. I mean, at this rate, it really would just be better for everyone if you did that. Don't you know that you're nothing but a burden to everyone around you?
You know, I really didn't think that you would actually ever try to take things so far. But despite all your insults, I've still stuck around to help out the family, including you. But I guess you're not impressed by all of that. So fine. If that's what you really want, then I'll just go. And I guess this also means that I can stop giving the family money. Just think about the amazing place I'll get to live with all those savings. That and all the things that I'll get to be able to do but wasn't able to because of family obligations.
I don't care what you do with your life or where you go. You're nothing but a loser, and you were never good enough to be one of us. You've never accomplished anything at all. You don't have a boyfriend. You don't have anything going for you. Even after you move out, you're still going to be alone for the rest of your life. Nothing you say is ever going to convince me that you're worth having around.
Well, okay then. You say all that now, but I think in a little while you're going to regret all of this. But that's fine with me. If anything, it feels like a huge weight has just been taken off of my shoulders. So just make sure that you keep up your side of the bargain and never ever bother me again, okay? And don't come crawling back to me for help either. I have no intention to ever help my family after they have been so awful to me this entire time.
What in the world do you think you're doing here, huh? I mean, really, have you lost your mind or something like that? You've got some serious nerve even showing your face around here again.
Well, who would have guessed that I would have run into my elite banking family at this wedding of all places? Wow, sometimes the world really is a small place, isn't it? I mean, what can you say in this situation except, wow.
Don't you act like this is just some complete coincidence that you don't know was going to happen. You snuck into this wedding, didn't you? You must have found out somehow that we were all going to be here, and that's why you snuck in here, right?
No, I haven't really thought about you or anyone else from the family in a long time. I really am just as shocked as you are.
You're a liar. You were lying, and I know it. You had to have looked into us or found the guest list for the wedding or something. How else would you have known that we were here?
Well, I just explained to you that I actually didn't know that you were here at all. But if you want to know how I ended up here at the wedding, first I received the invitation in the mail, then I RSVP'd to the wedding, and then finally I showed up today.
Oh, please. You really expect me to believe that? You really think I'm going to buy that you were actually invited here? There's no way that that could be. There's no way that any wedding where we were invited would be a wedding where you would also be invited. It just doesn't make any sense.
Rachel, is this really how you want to greet your sister after we haven't talked in 8 years?
Of course not. I would rather not have this conversation at all. I thought that I was never ever going to have to see you ever again.
You know, with all that screaming you're doing, you're probably scaring some of the other wedding guests. Can you at least learn how to sit still and keep your mouth shut while you're angrily texting me? I mean, really, it's just a bit rude to the bride and groom, don't you think?
I am not going to have this conversation with you, Ashley. I just want you to leave and come back. Right now, okay?
I'm sorry, but what makes you think that you have any right to be able to boss me around like that, huh? I mean, do you really think that I'm just going to turn around and go home because you told me to?
What is that supposed to mean, huh? Besides, you still haven't actually told me why you're here at my wedding. Because there was no way that you were actually invited here, and since I know that you don't belong here and weren't invited, you should just go now.
You really have no idea at all what you're talking about, do you?
No, you're the one who doesn't know anything about anything. If you did, then you would know better than to show your face in a place like this.
Well, okay. If you really want me to go, then I guess that I can. But the only problem is that I'm the CEO of the company where the groom works, so I just hope I don't hurt his feelings.
Wait, what? That doesn't even make any sense. What do you mean that you're a CEO?
Well, I was invited to the wedding by Harry, the groom, right? I know that it might be a bit hard for you to accept what you're about to hear, but I really don't care, because I don't like you. The truth of the matter is that Harry invited me to his wedding so that I could give a speech to honor him.
But that doesn't make any sense at all. I don't get how this is happening. I mean, how do you even know Harry?
I'm sorry, Rachel, but I literally just finished explaining everything to you. I don't really have time to just talk in circles with you, so I'm just going to go home like you said, okay? I hope you enjoy the rest of your wedding, though.
Ashley, are you here? Please tell me that you're somewhere nearby right now. You need to come back to the wedding right now. It's an emergency.
Wait, what? But I don't get it. Just a while ago, you were telling me about how I didn't belong here and how I needed to leave, right? Besides, I thought you said that you never even wanted to think about me again. It's pretty strange that you're texting me begging to come back now.
Oh, just shut up about that. I don't care about what we've said in the past. This is about the here and now.
Well, I'm afraid that I've already done as you asked, and I left to go back home. So, what is it that you want from me?
Well, when everyone found out that Harry's boss, who was going to give a speech, had gone home, the whole wedding turned into complete chaos. And I think that if I were to try and sneak out of the wedding right now, that people might guess that I was the one who told you to leave. So as you can see, I am in some serious trouble right now. That is why you have to come back here right now. I'm serious.
I see. Well, that is a very tough spot to be in, but I think I'm going to pass. Thank you.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that even if I did come back, since people have already noticed, I don't think it would fix the situation how you think it would. Besides, I think that you need to learn a lesson after the way that you treated me. I'm sure that it's just a matter of time before Harry finds out the truth anyways. Besides, I already told my secretary that I left, so...
You told your secretary? Then it really is true, isn't it? You really are a CEO of some company?
Yep, that's what I've been trying to tell you this entire time, but you haven't been listening. After you threw me out of the house, I went out and started doing the things that I wanted to do. And that included going out and starting my own business as well. So I worked hard and started from the ground up. I poured my heart and soul into my company, and thankfully I happened to have a lot of great people who were there to help me along the way.
Oh, wait. Harry just announced that they were going to postpone the wedding in light of all that's going on.
Oh, really? Wow. I can't believe that actually would do something like that. Of course, most of the employees are quite familiar with my personal background and family problems.
What do you mean? Why would you tell all your employees about that? What kind of CEO would even do that?
Well, when I was trying to recruit people to come and work for me, I had to give them a vision to believe in, right? So I told them about how my family threw me out for not conforming to their sense of elitism and that I went out to start my own business. I think a lot of people were really inspired by what I had to say, and Harry was one of those people. So I think that when he puts it together that he invited members of my family to his wedding that I went missing from, well, I'm sure you can do the math.
But don't you see how I'm going to get into a lot of trouble for this? I mean, if anyone finds out that we're related and that I was the one who chased you off, then that's going to be really, really bad for me. The wedding won't just be postponed, it'll be canceled.
Yeah, it sounds like it might come to that, actually.
This isn't a joke. This is serious. This is my life, okay? What am I supposed to do right now? You have to do something about this. You have to set everyone straight, please.
You're really coming to ask me for help right now? What is it that you even think I could do for you?
Well, I mean, you could come back and tell everyone at the wedding that I had nothing to do with this at all.
But that isn't true. You did have everything to do with this. I think you really want me to just get you out of this pickle without having to learn any kind of lesson to be punished. But the fact of the matter is that you threw out the person who was going to give a speech to your fiancé.
But none of this even makes sense to me. I mean, you only have a high school diploma. When I saw that you had snuck into my wedding, I knew that it was because you were up to no good. That's why I had to kick you out the moment that I saw you.
Rachel, for the last time, I was just as shocked to see you at this wedding as you were me. We haven't talked in 8 years, and I really thought that was just going to go on forever. Why in the world do you think I would even want to sneak into your wedding? What do you think I would gain from that?
Well, I mean, I had no idea that you were actually a CEO. You should have told me that from the very start.
What are you talking about? You were the one who for 10 years has been putting me down for my lack of education. You were the one who came to me all upset because you thought I wasn't invited and that I had snuck into your wedding. Even if I told you everything, it's not like you would have listened to me in the first place.
Well, how was I supposed to know that you went and started your own company when we haven't even spoken in years?
I don't know what you want me to say to that. You were the one that kicked me out of the house. You were the one that said you never wanted to talk to me again. And it was you who told me to leave your wedding and never ever come back. And now you want me to try and undo all the damage that you've been setting up for yourself for nearly a decade? Well, sorry, but you did this to yourself, and it's not my job to fix it for you. The fact of the matter is that you caused this, and this is all your fault. If people get mad at you for this, then I say more power to them. But I want you to know that I had no idea that you were Harry's fiancé at all. Of course, now that I do know that, I just feel bad for him since it's clear you haven't changed at all.
You mean you really didn't know? This was all just a coincidence.
How many times are you going to make me repeat the fact that I was? I really wish you would wake up and quit trying to think that you're some kind of infallible superhuman or something. Honestly, I had no idea that you were getting married, and even if I did know, I wouldn't care. The only reason I was there was to support an employee of mine, and the only reason I left was because the rude bride kicked me out.
Please, I'm sorry for everything. You're right. I've been a jerk and you haven't deserved any of this. But I really need your help right now. You have to come back here right away. I'm begging you as your sister.
Are you stupid or something? You and I are not sisters anymore. That ended when you kicked me out of the house 8 years ago. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go back to my life, married with kids, and the CEO of a very successful company.
Wait, what? You're married and you have kids? Are you kidding me? When did this happen? I really had no idea about any of this. Hello? Are you reading these messages anymore? Answer me, Ashley.
After that, I heard that Harry decided to call the wedding off entirely. Needless to say, Rachel was just crushed when she heard that. Harry told me all of this later on at work. I reassured him that it wasn't his fault, and he reassured me that it wasn't mine either. In fact, apparently he was already having second thoughts about the marriage as he learned about the kind of person that my sister was. And I told him that he was probably dodging a bullet by doing this, and now that that's all over, I can finally go back to ignoring my horrible family and getting back to my amazing life without them. As for what Rachel did after the wedding, I really am not quite sure. I really hadn't kept up with her or my family for the entire time since she kicked me out of their house, and my parents never did anything to stop her from doing so. Although years and years later, I heard through the grapevine a little bit of what had happened to her. Apparently, after her wedding to Harry was canceled, she fell into a pretty deep depression. She was so sure that nothing she could ever do could be wrong, and on that day she learned just how wrong she really was. Then the situation got so bad that she even stopped showing up for work. I heard that not long after that, she was fired and moved into a tiny apartment all by herself. As to what she's been up to with her life since then, well, I can really honestly say that I have no clue. And if I can do anything about it, I intend to keep it that way.
Hey Sarah, have you calmed down a little bit? I'm really sorry about yesterday. I think that Mom and Dad didn't mean to make you feel bad or anything.
I don't think this is something I'm going to just calm down from.
I know. I'm sure you're still pissed off, but just come home, okay? Let me explain everything, okay?
I don't want to listen to any more explanations. I'm just in shock right now. I don't even want to talk to you.
Don't be like that. Come on, we're engaged, right?
I don't know. I need to think about that too.
What? You literally said yes to me last month.
But if I had gone to your parents' house before you proposed to me, I might not have said okay to it at all.
What the hell is that about? You're saying that my parents are the problem here? All this over something that may have bothered you at my parents' house. You're gonna throw out the engagement over that?
If you marry, that means that our families will become families. I don't think I can do that kind of thing, to be honest with you.
Don't be like that. As far as yesterday, my parents definitely had some faults. I want to explain everything, so just come home, okay? Besides, I'm literally apologizing right now, okay?
I don't think it's something I can just forgive you after a little bit of apologizing. Just because you apologize doesn't really change anything either. I don't even really like the attitude that you had at your parents' house yesterday either.
What are you talking about? It's really not that big of a deal, is it? Were you really that sensitive of a person? Oh, you're seriously so much work.
You're saying that I'm so much work? Do you really understand what kind of damage you all caused yesterday?
Yes, I understand. That's why I keep apologizing to you. You're getting a little annoying now. You really should start reconsidering how you think.
What? Me? I'm the one that needs to start reconsidering my thoughts. Just to be perfectly clear here, your son's fiance comes over to say her greetings before getting married, and then your own dad throws hot tea on her? That's not normal.
I'm sorry. Dad really didn't mean anything by it either.
If he really did that without thinking that it would be something bad, then that's also pretty terrifying as well. I'm pretty scared to think about your own mum who was just standing there watching us too.
Don't talk so bad about my family, okay? You really have a bad habit of focusing on the negative things. You should really fix that, you know?
What? Are you freaking crazy? I had hot tea thrown onto me. And me complaining about that means that I'm focusing on the negative things? That's literally what I should be complaining about. I don't think that there's anything that's possibly good about that situation.
Don't think much about it, okay? Dad and Mom were just worried about me. They just wanted to protect me.
Protect you from what, moron? Not only did I have hot tea thrown at me, why the hell were you standing there laughing while I was burning?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. It was just a situation I hadn't encountered before, so I just couldn't help but laugh.
I was literally burned by the tea. Did you even know about that?
Yeah, I was worried about you after I realized what was happening.
Yeah, you were. You really pretended to be worried about me, didn't you?
It wasn't pretending!
You were definitely pretending. While I was running around screaming that it was hot, you were just laughing at me the whole time. I really felt like you were the worst person on the planet.
Oh, I said I'm sorry. It was just a little funny.
It's not funny at all. I really thought that you were just as crazy as they were.
Oh, what are you talking about? Me too. You trying to say that my parents are insane?
Yeah, I am. I think they're certifiably insane. I didn't even mention the best part. After I ran out because I was pissed off after having hot tea thrown on me, you didn't even bother chasing me out of the house to check on me, did you? That's when I knew that this wasn't going to work out.
What do you mean not work out? You were seriously pissed off. I figured that it would be better to let you cool off for a bit, no pun intended. You didn't even come home yesterday. I was really worried, you know?
Thank you for worrying so much about me, but I have no intention of ever returning.
Huh? What about the apartment? You gonna leave even though we live together?
Yes, I'm going to pack my things and leave. You can also consider this whole engagement called off.
Wait, hang on a second. I'm sorry, I'll explain everything. Just hear me out, okay?
I don't have anything else to talk about.
I have my reasons. Mom and Dad and what they did yesterday. It was all just actually, you know, a prank. It was a surprise.
What? A prank?
Yeah, I'm a guy. I'm also an only child, right? So my dad can't say things like, I'm never gonna let you have my daughter. That's why he said he really wanted to try saying that this time around. I do think that he went a little too far by throwing tea on you, but that's why I couldn't help but chuckle a little bit.
Hang on a second. Wait, so you knew that would happen? That they would say crap like that to me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Mom knew about it too. But the plan was that he would yell, I'm never gonna let you have my son! And then we were all gonna say that it was all just a prank.
Uh-huh.
But then Dad had to get carried away by everything. He threw the hot tea on you. So I couldn't help but laugh. Mom was also trying to hold back her laughter. She just didn't say anything because she was trying not to laugh.
Are you shitting me right now?
Huh? I mean, I was goofing around a little bit yesterday, but it was funny, right? As soon as you figured out that it was a prank, you thought it was a little funny too, right? Be honest.
What are you talking about? Are you still messing with me? Do you ever stop messing around at all? I think you should stop messing around as a family. I have no intention of ever forgiving any of you.
What? I told you it was a prank! My dad and mum are both okay with us getting married too. They're super happy about it all.
I'm not going to get married to you after all this.
Why the hell not? The whole thing about I'm not gonna let you take my son is a joke. You understand the meaning of a joke, right? It was all just a prank.
To you and your family, it might just be a joke. To me, it isn't a prank or a joke at all. I already spoke to my parents too.
To your parents?
They're pretty up in arms too. They said that there's no way that they could get along with that kind of family. They're not the only ones either. We're really not going to be able to see eye to eye, ever.
Why the hell not? It's just a joke. You're seriously gonna call off the engagement over a joke like that? I feel like that's the worst prank of them all.
This is not a prank. It was the first time in my life that I've ever had tea thrown on me. And it was all basically boiling hot tea. My face was okay, but my hands are a little burned. You're seriously the worst.
Seriously? Look, I'm sorry about that. But just understand that my dad really didn't have any bad intentions. I'm sorry, okay? Let's have a fun life together. You gotta be able to joke around to have fun in life, right?
Personally, dating you at all was just a joke anyway.
What are you talking about?
I don't know why I was dating you. I don't know why I ever said yes to getting married to you. It all makes sense now.
Calm down, okay? I'll give you a little more time to calm down. Once you calm down at your parents' house, come back.
I'm not going to go back, but my parents will be going over today.
What?
They're pretty pissed off, and you're going to be paying for all of my treatment for my burns.
Oh, you're exaggerating. I'm sure it was just a tiny little burn, right?
Even if it was a little burn, you guys should be really taught a lesson of how big a mistake you all made. Your whole family is seriously a little too stupid.
What do you expect? It was the first time I ever brought over a fiancé. It was all a first-time thing for my family, too. Marriage is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, too.
I see. I'll just take this as a thank you for letting me know before we got married.
Are you seriously gonna let go of the engagement?
I want you to really consider what you've done. Please repent and think about all the guilty things you've done to me. I can't think of a single reason I'd still want to be with you.
I didn't think you were that kind of girl. Don't worry about it, I'm gonna reject you anyway. It was just like my mom had told me.
Huh?
There's no way a 29-year-old woman who isn't married yet is good. That's so true. You're seriously just a leftover. You're never gonna get married for the rest of your life. What a loser.
I'm okay that we don't have to get married. I'm glad that your family doesn't have a woman that would call herself your wife.
Just kidding, I'm just joking, seriously.
Huh?
Was that funny, my joke? I don't think about that, of course. Did you laugh? Come back already! Let's enjoy life together!
That really pushed me over the edge. Thank you, actually.
Huh? Was that not funny?
You can just keep saying your stupid jokes that aren't funny at all for the rest of your life. Bye. Sarah's parents went to Christopher's house after that. They demanded an apology from them. Christopher's parents seemed to be fooling around and not taking it seriously the whole time, but maybe Sarah's dad yelling from the top of his lungs made them realize the gravity of what they'd done. They called out Christopher and immediately started begging. They paid almost twice the treatment fees. The burn wasn't bad at all, and there were no scars left behind. It was a little sad that Sarah had dated someone for 2 years, only to have to meet that whole terrible family. She decided to just focus on her work and career. Christopher had kept contacting Sarah, trying to get her back on the good side and making jokes. But Sarah had already blocked Christopher, so she's never going to have to read those terrible text messages again.
Did you really end up going to the hospital? What a drama queen.
Wait, are you serious right now?
Of course I am. She's my mother, you know. A fight between women isn't something I need to be super worried about.
You say that, but she cut my mouth and there's a lot of blood. You don't suddenly punch people like that. We only came to visit her, and yet this is what happened.
I told you, my mom is a bit possessive of me. She might say some foul things.
I would have much preferred words than her fists. Your mother punched me. That's not the actions of a person who is a bit possessive.
Yeah, that was pretty unexpected. Though, can you blame her? News like marriage will put someone like her in shock. I'm sure she was just testing to see if you're a woman who can handle that.
You cannot be serious right now. She wasn't testing me. She's just plain crazy. Yet, while I was getting beaten like crazy by your mother, I could hear your voice saying, "Here she goes again."
Listen here, Madison, you can't be calling another person's parents crazy. You're the crazy one. That woman raised me.
What? You're defending your mother right now? A normal person could easily tell that the one who struck a person would be in the wrong. Does your family not have that kind of common sense?
Cut it out. You're being extremely rude right now. I'm the man you're marrying. You have no right to be talking to your future husband like this.
Are you serious right now? I surely hope that you're not expecting to have the man in charge mindset once we get married.
Man in charge. I have no reason to be like that. A wife's job is to support her husband. That's normal. You're of course going to always be behind me, right?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you going on about? Where is this old-fashioned mindset coming from? This is the modern world where men and women are on equal footing. I didn't know people with that mindset still existed.
Doesn't matter what era we're in. The power dynamic of men and women hasn't changed. Are you saying that a woman has the strength to protect a man? Don't be ridiculous. Women are the ones that need to be protected, and in return, the women can comfort the men.
Protect? What are men protecting women from in this day and age? I have no intentions of quitting my job. You know that, right? We're both going to be working, so that means we're on equal footing.
What are you talking about? Of course we're both going to work. That's normal. There's no way I would pick a woman who thinks that she can provide for her man alone.
Hang on, what do you mean? The first portion of what you were saying makes sense, but you still expect the woman to have to care for the man along with all of that? I don't think I get what you're saying.
Of course I expect that. What, are you still out of it from those hits? A woman can't survive without being married, right? Love is like a life goal, isn't it? A man isn't like that, though.
What are you going on about? That isn't true.
Well, you say that, but you're already at a pretty old age now. You said that you dream of getting married and having a nice, happy family. I'm granting you that wish, aren't I?
So now you're showing your real personality.
Real personality? It's only just because we haven't had conversations like this before. Oh, speaking of conversations we never had.
I don't think I like where this is going.
It's not anything bad. It's just about how once we get married and start living together, Mom wants to live with us as well.
What? Did you enter your head as well? What are you talking about? Not anything bad. That lady punched me 5 consecutive times. What do you think would happen if we start living under the same roof?
Hey, watch your mouth. This is your future mother-in-law. I admit that today wasn't ideal, but that's just because she was a bit angry.
Anybody else would call that being psychotic. Any person who gets mad would try to rationalize and not let their anger take over to beat another person up.
What'd you say? This is exactly the exact reason why Mama doesn't even like you.
Wait, Mama? Did you just say Mama?
Force of habit. I always refer to her as Mama. But I am aware of how that seems outside, so I do try to avoid referring to her as that around others.
Oh, really? I'm starting to get used to these revelations.
Anyways, Mama was just unhappy that you were stealing me from her. So it's not a big deal. Once she calms down, she'll be a lot nicer. Just give her some time.
Calm down? Do you mean I'm going to have to deal with being her punching bag until she calms down? I'll pass.
Don't be like that. Here, I'll apologize for today. I'll also talk to Mama for you as well. So let's just brush all of this under the rug, okay?
You have no right to be saying that. Why are you acting all high and mighty in this situation? I feel no vibes of you wanting my forgiveness.
Well, duh. You're the one who should be asking for forgiveness. You get punched a few times and now you change your mind? You have to convince Mama to let us get married.
Huh? Is there anything in your head? I have no reason to ask for forgiveness. Goodbye.
You're such a pushover. Well, anyway, make sure to keep an ice pack on your head. I'll give you some time to cool off.
No thanks. I have nothing further to discuss with you. Thanks for everything. Goodbye. This is Trent's mother, Nancy. I hear that you're quite the pushover. Huh? Is there something you need? Contacting me all of a sudden. Did you ask for my contact info from Trent? My, you're quite the rude one, aren't you? You're the one who randomly decided to make your living room a boxing ring, and yet you have the nerve to talk to me about my manners? You're exactly the kind of person I thought you would be. A selfish, hard-headed, and ridiculously proud woman. Is that so? So then you don't need to be talking with me any longer if that's the case. We both don't get out of continuing this conversation. That! Exactly that! How dare you treat your superior like that? My superior? Where is the superior you talk about? Oh, you mean my elder. Well, that I could understand. You're treating your future-in-law like this isn't a good look. I can read other people's auras, that's how I knew. Your aura is pitch black. You aren't fit for my son. Oh my. There's so much I could say. Where should I start? Well, if my aura, that you can somehow see, is pitch black, then that means yours is whatever a black hole is. I have no time to deal with this stupid conversation. If you have something you need to say, hurry up and spill it. You don't want to live in the same house as me? That's right. Why would I want to live with a criminal? Criminal? Who are you talking about? Of course it's you. Who else would it be? Huh, what did I do? Calling someone a criminal. Why did Trent choose a girl like you? You suddenly punched me 5 times. I'm going to file a report on this. File a report? You're being overdramatic. I only punched you and you're making such a fuss over it. You still haven't apologized for it. The least you could do is say that you're sorry for punching me. Huh? Why do I need to apologize? You're the one who's trying to marry my son, which means that you're trying to steal him from me. I have never once said that I had any intentions of that. Anyways, rest assured, I'm not marrying your son anymore. Wait, really? Yes, really. Good for you. You can keep your son. Forever. I'm going to double check this with my son. But this means that you're leaving the house to him, right? In what world would that happen? That house is signed under my name and bought with my money, which means that everything there is mine. What? Then where are we going to live? How in the world should I know? You guys can just keep living in the apartment of yours. What'd you say? This is all too different from what I've heard. I'm going to check with my son. This is different from what I've heard as well, but do whatever you want.
Hey, pick up your phone! I heard from Mom. Just stop being so petty, canceling our engagement over something so minor.
I'm not the petty one in this conversation. Didn't I say goodbye to you? I'd figured that I had given the message that we were through.
What are you talking about? It's just a tiny spat between partners. Don't throw the entire relationship away for something like that. We're in the process of getting our marriage license.
I canceled that. I'm not spending my life with a criminal and her son.
I heard about the whole criminal thing as well. Mama just punched you, that's it. There's no reason for you to be calling her a criminal over something like that. So petty.
You guys are both messed up in the head.
You just got mad over the fact that Mama didn't approve of our marriage. Well, good news. She calmed down and gave her approval.
Why would I be happy over this? Who would marry someone like you? I already said this. I canceled the marriage license and am filing a report of your mother.
What? You're joking, right? I mean, we're trying to buy a house.
We're? I'm the one who is paying for it. I'm using my money to buy the house and said that I would allow you to live there with me. What are you doing acting like it's yours?
It's what we planned on, though, right? Just because you fought with Mom doesn't mean that you need to be doing all this.
You just want to be spoiled since that's how you grew up. The moment we agreed on getting married, you decided to show off your borderline incestuous relationship with your mother and expect everything to be okay? You're just a bum.
A bum? I work, though.
Yeah, we both work, but my wage is far more than yours. It's why I'm the one who always pays more than you do. You pretend to be a gentleman, paying for our meals at restaurants, and yet I'm always the one handing you the cash to pay before we go in.
A man wants to show off at those times. What's up with you? You haven't complained about these things before.
That's because I still thought that you were a decent person back then. The moment your mama comes into the picture, you start acting like a brat.
This is normal for any married couple.
If that's what helps you sleep at night, then sure, keep thinking about that. I'm gonna be submitting this file to the police now. Goodbye.
Hang on, we're family, right? Don't submit that report.
I don't want to be part of a family with you and your criminal mother in it.
But you said you wanted a family. You said you wanted to get married. If you end things now, nobody wants to be with you at your age.
I'd rather be alone than be a family with you. You're a bum. Just because you're a male doesn't mean that you're any less of a bum. If you love each other that much, then maybe you should live with your mother for the rest of your life. Oh, but if I submit this report, then you'd lose your mother as well. Madison did submit the report on Nancy, and she ended up getting charged with battery. With that and having to pay for Madison's medical bills, the two fell into despair. As for Madison, she became a writer and decided to make a novel loosely based on the events that happened. Her book caused major media attention. It's good for parents and their children to get along, but it's a problem when it gets to the point those two displayed.
Don't ever come again, you b****!
Wow, what were you thinking hitting me with an ashtray? I could have died.
It's self-defense! If an intruder comes into your house, isn't it common sense to defend yourself?
I rang the doorbell and came in from the front door. You call that an intruder? You're the one that invited me in.
What's with the attitude? Do you think you can talk back to me?
Ugh, damn, you're so grumpy. Are you enjoying your life?
Of course! I've been working hard, unlike you, since I was young, so I'm where I am today.
I just asked you a question. Why are you bringing me up? Ugh, you're so weird. Like, are you okay?
I'm worried about you more because I'm afraid that I hit you too hard, that it made you even more stupid.
You just proved that you're a criminal, you know.
Then why don't you try and sue me? I have money, so there's no meaning though.
Aren't you embarrassed to say things like this?
Shut up! Don't ever contact us again! Just remember that you are rock bottom, okay?
You're a piece of shit. 30 minutes later.
Mary, are you okay? Does it still hurt? Can you drive?
Are you seriously going to ask if I can drive after what happened? What the hell is wrong with your dad?
Sorry, but he was like that since I was a kid. My mom was fed up with him, so they've been separated for a while. He has a lot of money and power, and also, my family are all bankers except for me, so it's hard to talk back.
You knew he was crazy!
I didn't expect him to punch you. I haven't met him for a while, and I thought he would be nicer now, but I guess not.
Okay, and?
And?
I was hit in the face with an ashtray. I could have died. Are you not going to say anything?
Oh, that really sucks.
You're not going to apologize?
Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. I didn't really expect him to do something like that.
Even if I lived a serious life, I would have still gotten the same treatment.
You can beat up my dad, because I'm tired of him too.
If you hate him, why don't you do something?
I'm not strong like you, Mary.
You want me to protect you or something? Are you serious? Can't believe I got engaged to you. My life sucks.
Everything is my fault, and I truly apologize.
Well, not everything. I was the one that said I wanted to meet your parents. I'm going to your house again to sort out things, so can you please go home by yourself?
What? Are you going to beat up my dad? Nice! Can I watch?
Nope. Go the home.
How am I supposed to go home with no car? Can you at least drive me to the closest bus stop?
Shut the up.
Sorry.
30 minutes later.
Why are you roaming around the house? I told you to leave!
I want to talk, so please open the door.
Of course not! Don't disturb me because I'm busy sanitizing the house!
Why do you hate me so much?
You are from a poor family, didn't graduate from college, and aren't working a decent job. And you look cheap in general. Joe is a failure to our family, but I didn't expect him to get engaged to someone like you!
I think we could get to know more about each other if we talk.
Are you kidding me? I know that you will choose violence!
Violence, huh? I don't think someone who hit a person with an ashtray should say that.
Are you saying that I'm rock bottom?
I didn't say a word about that. How can you act like you're smart when you're actually stupid?
You're the one that's stupid! You just want our money, right? If you don't decline marrying Joe, I will hit you with the ashtray again, okay?
Are you for real? I'm never gonna forgive you.
What are you going to do?
I already hired a lawyer and I'm going to sue you about this, so you should be ready. Oh, and I'm also going to file a police report.
You shouldn't do that, because it's going to be a waste of money and time. I'm actually being nice here.
Why would I not do it? My lawyer said that you're going to be charged with assault for causing bodily harm.
What do you mean you're a lawyer?
He's a lawyer hired by the company that I own.
What? Company? You're a CEO?
Yeah. I run an online shopping site. I think you've seen my commercials on TV. I left my business card in your mailbox.
Wait, it's a pretty big company. You're the CEO?
Yup. We do business with your bank as well.
Why didn't you tell me this earlier? Didn't you say you were an office worker?
Well, I'm on the computer all day, so...
What should I do? I didn't know about this. Oh, I'll actually approve the marriage. So can you take down the police report?
Nothing will change even if you try to negotiate something.
What should I do? Seriously?
Nothing. Just accept the fact that you're going to get sued.
Please, I'll give you money. How much do you want?
This is not a problem that can be solved with money. I took screenshots of the conversation, so I'm planning on showing this to the public.
Wait, no!
I don't think that anyone would want to use a bank with a worker like you. I'm going to cease all transactions and move our savings. No matter how hard you try, I will not change my mind.
Don't act all that!
I could say the exact same thing right back at you. Oh, I also need to add defamation. A minute later.
Hey, Joe, can you do something about Mary? She's trying to sue me! I don't think that she's going to change her mind, even if I talk to her. Are you thinking that this is not your problem? Our family is in big trouble! You are involved also because you are part of the family! You said I was a failure to the family this whole time, but then you decide to say I'm part of the family when you're in trouble? To be honest, I was really irritated by you, so I will not help you. Are you serious? Yeah. And also, I'm not a banker, so it doesn't matter if you get sued and get fired from the bank. We are a family! Are you being serious now? Don't talk about being a family when you hit your son's fiancé in the face with an ashtray. This is why Mom was fed up with you. Please, help me! Deal with this by yourself, please. I will not help you. So good luck with everything. Wait!
A few days later, I saw the news, Mr. Archer. I'm so happy that the media made this headline on the news. How was your job? Did everyone give you the cold shoulder?
My life is ruined because of you! Don't even send me a chat, because I need to go to court soon!
I heard that you were charged with other crimes, so your life must really suck right now.
It does. My wife sent me divorce papers. The bank fired me and charged me for damage that I created, so I had to sell the house.
Do you want me to feel bad for you or something? Sorry, but I don't feel sorry for you at all. I will charge you a good amount, so you must have no hope, but all this is your fault.
Stop acting like you won!
Well, I did! And I also have more money than you wish you had.
Someday I'll get my revenge, so I will not give up!
That's up to you, but you can't do anything because I still have all the evidence. So if you find a new place to work, I'll just upload all of it to that website. You will get backlash for the rest of your life, but you deserve this for what you've done to me. Oh, looks like some of your family members got fired too. Oh, that's too bad.
Are you having fun ruining someone and their family's life?
Yeah. Also, what's with the attitude? Do you think you can talk back to me? After the incident, I went to court against Mr. Archer, and of course I won. He was charged with other crimes and went from rich to poor and ended up being in debt. I was not surprised because he's the kind of person to hit someone with an ashtray. He has no money and no house now, and everyone is giving him the cold shoulder. He is now facing backlash and is known as a crackhead old fart. On the other hand, since Joe didn't help me and probably won't from now on, I've decided to keep my distance from him for a while.